All right, welcome to day 3 of Champs Chats. Oh, actually, no, it's the daily show that we're doing. Wow,
We were worried
the
about
days
this.
are all merging together for me, but we're back.
And it's live, right? So you can't do take 2.
No, take
that's
2.
It's gonna
That's
have
it.
to live.
Yeah, we're just going with it. I'm Chris Chavez, Kyle Merber, John Anderson, and we're here at the World Championships. Every day we're doing this show, bringing you some of the guests that have competed, some of the coaches involved, some of just anyone who's doing anything cool. So be sure to subscribe to the CITIUS MAG YouTube channel so you can tune into our daily podcast at the end of every night. We're just trying to bring you as much track and field content that you can, put up with for the next 10 days, because it's no better time to celebrate the world's best athletes. And so we're joined by one who just came away with a bronze medal in the mixed 4x4. What was it? 7 global championship medals overall. We were trying to count them right before this, and it's getting hard to count. And once you go past 2 or 3, you're up to 7. Vernon Norwood, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we've got a live audience. Let's clap it up for Vernon Norwood.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I think it's like.
I like how the fact you said we're joined by this, and they took the 2 shot, and there was no question about who the other guy, the fast guy, was. Not a question whatsoever as to who it was. Great job.
So Vernon, before we get to your race, let's talk about. How about Marvin Bracey, your boy?
Yeah, man, I'm proud of him, man.
Are you?
I'm very proud of Marvin Bracey. A lot of people think that. I think at one point people thought like we had like a real like beef going on, but Marvin just easy to troll. And, like we talk every single day, like whatever it's like about track, personal stuff, gaming, whatever it is. But me and him, we have a really good friendship, and people on social media don't know that. Some people do, some people don't. But that's why a lot of people laugh at it. But Marvin Bracey, a good guy. I'm proud of him that he came with this. If I thought he had it just a little bit, so I had a little bit of truth in that tweet though. So he folded just a little bit, probably like the last 6 meters, because he was in a good lead at first in that 100 meters. But I'm super proud of him though.
We all need those friends who just kind of, you joke about me all the time.
It's not a joke, Chris. That's the whole point.
but I remember last year, right? This is a Marvin Bracey story. So last year, right?
Love it.
We was in Stockholm for the Diamond League meet, and I promise you it's a true story. Will London could back me up on this. We was at breakfast. It was like 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, meet day. And Marvin come down, do-rag on, gold grilling, headphones in. I'm like, headphones loud too. And he came by the table, and he all we hear is Tupac in his ears. All eyes on me. I'm like, yo, it's like, relax, bro. Like, you got me a couple hours later. Like, he already locked in for the race. I'm like, man. And I'm just sitting there like, man, dude, locked in. Like, he ready to go. Man.
Yeah, I don't want to leave it on the bus that early.
Yeah, man. he was. I don't know why he was just so pumped up that race, but that was a crazy day that morning, man. He was just locked in, just ready to go.
Is that how you get ready for your races? Are you like that, or are you a little bit more zen?
No, I'm always in. I'm just eat my breakfast, chill, lay up, have my feet up, just chilling. But
So
I ain't like
when
that.
do you focus in? When I leave the hotel? When I'm on the practice? When do I finally have to get like my game face on?
Probably right before I get on the track.
For that, we're good.
Right before
What's
that.
on your playlist? You gotta have headphones. So what are you listening
I be into like Afro beats. I'm on piano, so I be like the different type of tunes. But if I'm really trying to lock in, I'm probably go to my go-to, Lil Wayne, J. Cole. I throw a little Drake in there. He got a few
Lil
smooth
Wayne,
songs.
just more new,
but more Wayne than anything
That's,
though, because
that's home, right?
that's
isn't he?
home. So more Lil Wayne, but my playlist is like super variety though. Like it's everything, and but I don't really get locked in till like I'm actually like on the line, like because like I like to feel and see everybody's energy. So like I say what's up to them just to see how they doing. Like, what's up, you good? You know, they don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, he's serious. He's serious. But I'm always serious, but it's like I know how to hit a switch. I'm like, okay, boom, let's get it. You know, but everybody a little different though. Some people they wake up and they locked in. Like the next day, I'll be like, man, I don't want to feel too serious like that, because I feel like I'm taking away the fun from myself, like being so wanting to win, which is everybody want to do. But I try to find a mix of balance of like being focused and having like some time to be myself too.
Chris gets locked in for this show like 18 seconds before the camera comes on. And then
Yeah,
he just
I saw that earlier. He was typing away.
laser.
When we look at your resume, I mean, you've been on so many incredible relay teams.
Yes.
Why do they always call on you when they need a leg?
Honestly, relays is fun, and I think with the resume I have, I've been pretty much a reliable guy, and I think that the main thing is I've been consistent and I've been available. So I'm still shooting for the individual spot and getting the individual medal. That gotta be my goal before I hang it up. But I'm just happy to be a part of those relay teams that we have so many memories about. Because when you look at the 400 meters in the U.S., it's a lot of depth. Mm-hmm. It could be any each year you see it's a different guy on there. Sometimes you can see the same people, but we have a lot of depth in that event, and for them to have me up there, it's a blessing. I always just try to enjoy the moment with them.
What's your favorite leg of the relay to run, and has it changed over time?
In college, I ran all anchor. I would like to run first. Preferably, I would want to run first because I think I'm a better 400-meter runner than a relay guy. Because it's like when you talk about the relay, if it's 4 people, it's a team thing. So you got to dominate your legs. So I'm not morally a dominant guy that could just go out there. I have to be strategic in how I run it. So in order, I feel like I could do that best in the front. But usually I'm always either third or fourth. But I can run either leg. One of 4 would probably be my favorite though. So because if I'm out in the front, I could get out and run my own race, and if I don't have the lead, I'm in striking distance, I could be able to go get the lead back. But I would love to choose one over any of those legs.
Okay, so settle this for me then, because I saw Rob Benjamin at the NCAA championships, and he told me he was disappointed that he ran the anchor leg in Tokyo. He wanted to run the second leg so he could be the first guy that had a carry that was 42-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wouldn't you want to be the anchor leg? That's the guy that crosses the tape, and you got the baton. You're going to be in the pictures in CITIUS Magazine and Sports Illustrated. That still exists. I don't even know, right? But I want to be that guy. And he's like, no, I want to run 42, be the second leg. Like he lobbied Mouse, and finally Coach always said, you just shut up. You're going to run last.
Honestly, I think you could have put him on any leg. He'd have been crazy. But I think
but Merber's already told me I'm wrong about the 1500, so I want to know if I'm wrong about which relay leg is the better leg to run. I think, no, the anchor leg has it over all of them.
Yeah.
That's the star of the show.
Yeah, the anchor leg is more the leg that gets all the shine because you're crossing the line, finishing, whatever. But a lot of people, they feel indifferent about it. I feel like second leg should always have the fastest split because depending on what first leg does, that's when second leg has to get you out the jam and get you in front. So that second leg, you go around that bend, it's almost like you run the indoors. You got to get to that bend first and cross over, and you're going at a faster pace. So I see where he come from because he probably would have split super fast because he split super fast on the anchor by himself.
Super fast.
And he was just gliding. So I felt like the anchor move was a really good move for the team. But the second move would have been a lot better for him for his peace of mind. So he wanted to run. But it would have been either way.
I think he just said a week or two ago on Twitter that people don't respect the relays enough. And I mean the dialogue that came, the fallout from that tweet, everyone, we know I think especially the international community is what are you talking about? Yeah. And I guess, do you feel that sometimes? I mean, the 4x4 is how we finish every single meet off for a reason. It is maybe the most exciting event in track and field. You finish with your strongest leg. That's what we were just kind of talking about a little bit. And so do you feel that disrespect sometimes? Why don't people get up for the relays a little bit more?
I honestly don't know. It's a kind of a hard question to answer, but because everybody gonna have their opinion about certain things in the sport. So, but for me, I feel like it's very important, to get the great group of people to come together and represent your country, just to go out there and win the medal. Because people look at it you ain't got an individual medal, you had a joke career, whatever how they ever want to call it. But I don't have an individual medal, and most of the guys who have individual medal, they also have relay medals as well, and it's no knock to anybody. You're getting a global medal on the world stage. A lot of people can't say that. So a lot of people who do talk crap about that is people who probably can't even compete or even seen anything like it. Because when you get around a bunch of talented athletes, you're like, man, I competed against those people. And then to come up even short, getting fourth or getting fifth or third, whatever, you're like, man, I actually competed against some of the best in the world. And I'm going to take my pride into hey, I got a gold medal in the Olympics, a bronze medal, silver medals, whatever it is. But even just competing at the high level is a, just to say, I made the final and don't get a medal. We seen plenty of guys in the sport who don't have Olympic medals or even globally medals, but they competed in the finals and stuff like that. I don't want to throw any athletes out there, but
You're kind of looking at me a little bit. Because the highlight of my career is definitely relay stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and so you don't have to convince me. I think
Yeah,
it's something, it's more fun to win
you look
together,
at my
right?
resume, I have all relay stuff. I made 2 teams, two outdoor teams globally in the open, and I failed to make the even final, but I ended up walking away with 2 gold medals in the relay. So I was pretty ecstatic about that. So
I ain't mad at anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I feel pretty good. My mom's proud. My city's proud. So as long as my mom
Our
happy
crowd's
about
really
it,
proud, too.
hey.
Mama's happy. Everybody's happy.
Exactly.
So in this past relay that you ran, the mixed 4x4, like obviously it was very much billed as Allison's final lap, but then at the same time you also had 2 really young rising stars with Elijah and Kennedy Simon.
Yes.
That you guys come away with the bronze, and obviously it opens up. It would have been perfect storybook ending to send Allison off with a gold medal, but it's not how it worked out. Was there any sort of conversations as someone who has been through relays before, and you've got all of these medals in the past that because visibly you guys in the mix zone when we were walking through, like you guys were happy, but there's also a little part to it too. It's like you know that there's going to be critics out there about this performance, and so especially for the 2 young stars, like was there anything sort of said as like, hey, you guys got a global championship medal, it's something you really should be proud of?
Well, first, when Kennedy Simon crossed the line, as soon as I walked up to her, I said, "I'm so proud of you." That's the first thing I said to her. "I'm so proud of you." And even though we walked away with the bronze, because everybody look at the USA as we dominant, we got a lot of depth in which we're on home soil. So yes, we all wanted the gold, like that was the goal to get gold. But most of the time, it don't be like that because we have to give credit to the competition that we go up against. Like I just say, we are competing against the highest athletes in the world. So when you look at those smaller countries like the Netherlands and Dominican Republic, they putting their best people out there because they don't have the depth like we have. So in the mixed relay event, I feel like that event, it gives those smaller countries the opportunity to get a global medal, whether it's a relay or not. So they come out there and compete and they put their best people out there. But for me, that felt like a golden moment, getting the baton from Allison Felix and the crowd going crazy, and to walk away with a global medal in that, it was just like I said earlier, like it felt like a gold medal to me. That's why I think we was a lot happy about it, just to see Allison take her last lap and to like really. Because when she was running, I promise you, like, I got lost a little bit because I'm watching her and I'm like,
you called it magnetic in the mix.
Yeah, so when she was bringing me the stick, I'm like, my hand was just like, it was like, as soon as she put it in my hand, it just stuck there, and I just went around. It was an amazing moment, man.
So a couple things. One, I'd have kept the baton afterwards. I'd have gone and found it, right? Because they always collect those. But
Yeah,
I'd have kept it.
What are they going to do if you
And
take
2,
it?
I thought it was unfair. They give you the list of competitors up there from the World Athletics, and it said guy that hands it to Allison, the guy Allison hands it to, and the other girl.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was like she overwhelmed everything. No, but in all seriousness, what's it like? I mean, because you almost were, and everybody runs the same length, but it was almost like the supporting cast in this point for Allison in this race.
And I feel like we all did a really great job from start to finish. I felt like Elijah put us in a great situation to be in the lead. Allison did a great job. I did a great job. And even Kennedy did a great job. So you just got to give credit to the competitors. They was on. They competed just as hard as us. So hey, it was just
Elijah
a great race.
backed into a javelin once. Did we ever make fun of him about that? Did we ever go, dude?
I'm not gonna make fun of him about that. that was pretty serious.
No.
And I've been getting to know Elijah a lot more from last year to this year. He's a really cool dude, man. He's very humble. He's very well-rounded guy,
Yeah.
and I think he's the next rising star in our 400 meters. And but that's another thing. Like we have a lot of depth in this. There's always gonna be another guy. Like last year was Randolph Ross. This year was Elijah and champion. So we always have. So next year we don't know who it might be.
Mm-hmm.
It might could be Johnny Blockberg at USC. Somebody like that's still around in the mix. So
can you give us a peek behind the curtain in the sort of call room, wherever it might be, those final moments before the relay team heads off to the track, is there anyone who's kind of giving the final directions? Is there any sort of conversation from Allison? And then in the post-race element of it, does she say like, "Hey, thank you"? Like, I mean, it was like her last one, and she already earned 19 of these things. So,
leading up to it, we all were just pretty much locked in, just going out there have fun. And before we walked through the car room, the word of the day was just to dominate our legs. Just go out there and compete and have fun. And I could tell Allison, she was super excited and just super. We always just. Like we was trying to like be in the moment, but also understand like, hey, like we're going out there and compete for our country as well. So even though it's more about Allison, it was more about us too competing as well. But it was just nice to have to see her to go around. Like we're not going to see her run anymore, and for that to happen, it was just like wow. For all the years, like I remember, I think like in 2003 was our first team. I think I was like about 9 or 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start adding my math up. I'm not that old. but for her to compete in her first championship in 2003, and I wasn't even thinking about track then, to actually be on the same relay with her, it's just mind blowing to think about.
So when the event first came about, it was up to the teams to pick the order, and now they say this is it. Do you kind of wish that it was, whatever you feel like it, and rather than, the men only racing against the men?
I don't know, because I honestly feel like I like this order better. Let's end with the women going head to head. So let the guys put them in good position and let the women go head to head, because if you saw in 2019. Michael Cherry is running down one of the Polish girls. Like you see that video get recycled all the time. So it's like,
why are you thinking on her?
Nah, I'm thinking about the
No, that's what it looked like when you was running, right? It's like, why you gotta be mean to her?
Yeah.
Nah, but you saw what happened. They broke the world record. But I'm just saying, like, you don't want to do that, because that's a guy going against a girl. That's what's going to happen. But for them to make it man, woman, I think that's probably the order they should stick with. And just because, like even last year, what the order was, it came down to me trying to, go for the goal, and it's like, oh, okay, let's mix it up, let's go opposite. And you saw it was a thriller finish. Like it was the most exciting. The crowd went crazy because it was like, coming for how it ended. But I think we should keep it like that.
You talked about every year there's some new guy.
Yeah, some guy.
Do you ever think like you're still in there, like you're still fighting them off, dude?
Yeah, I'm still in the mix, man. I'm a tough one. I just look at each year. I'm just trying to get better, and I keep them in my mind like, hey, I can't take no days off. It's always somebody else, And not even just in the U.S. It's like globally too. It's like when I'm on a Diamond League circuit and stuff, it's always somebody you would just see just come up and just be a rising star in our event. And if you look at it, every year is always a new guy representing in the 400 meters. It's never been like the same 3 people or the same 2. It's always been some other people in the mix.
So when you're a big Twitter guy, you're a great follow, a lot of fun on there. Michael Johnson, when we're talking about 400 meter runners, has really stepped into the Twitter sphere and has some great takes and whatnot. And now we talk about the size of the scale of the sport and what. Especially bringing it here to Eugene. Do you feel that energy? Do you feel like we're on the right path and that we're growing?
I feel like it, but yeah, I could say that because us being in the U.S., the sport itself is growing. We have guys like y'all doing an amazing job getting us more content. So the more content.
Look into the camera and just say that one more time. We're doing a compilation of everyone.
Free shout outs.
Everyone complimenting us.
Shout out to CITIUS MAG. For the camera, which one? This one right here?
Right there.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all. Y'all covering a lot of content for us in the world, for the see that track and field is a growing sport and we will continue to be better. But
what a clip.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But
there's a bag of money inside. You can just reach in, take as much as you want on your way out.
Nah, I don't want money. You can pay me in food. You can buy me dinner later. But yeah, I feel like with the coverage and it's because everyone's becoming more involved in the sport, whether it's a podcast, whether it's like video content. I feel like it's growing in a sense because I feel like people need to see it, because like a lot of times people don't know what's going on most of the time about track and field. They just think about the Olympics. Oh, Olympics going on. So like, people don't even know about World Championship. I felt like leading up to this, I don't know. I don't want to say World Athletics, but it could have been like a more job of like letting people around other states know, advertisements as far as in commercials, like, hey, World Championship is coming up. But we can't do nothing about that because that's just how the market is in our sport, track and field. You know, U.S., we have dominant football, like NBA heavily, but when it comes to track and field, we get a little bit of the short stick. But we are the most talented, dominant athletes in the world. Nobody could do what we could do day in and day out. And I'm not saying like we could go out there and play football. Some can, and someone could play basketball. But when you come to track and field, it's a full-time thing. You're exerting so much energy in one day for a few hours, and you have to get a certain amount of rest and come out and do it again, then again. So I feel like I don't know how, but I hope that we can find more ways to get more fans involved and to become bigger, and people could get the recognition that they deserve. Because we have a lot of unique athletes in this sport with amazing stories that we just don't even get to hear from because they just don't have the opportunity, or they don't get the opportunity because, you know, that's just how it is.
There's obviously a big push to, and like Hayward Field plays like a big role in that. But as a New Balance athlete, like you got to be particularly very excited about this new facility out in Boston. So like, what are you looking forward to there? Because I mean, you've got to probably set the indoor 400-meter facility record.
Shout out to New Balance.
Yeah.
Shout out to New Balance again.
Oh, all right, that's it. No more. It's a Tracksman podcast.
Okay. I'm super excited. We went up there for the grand opening. Wonderful event. We had Jack Harlow out. Had a great time out there, and you saw they had the world record.
It got loud,
and it was super loud. It was, and track felt really fast. So I'm excited to get up there and compete up there. And I was trying to mention about trying to get some relays up there, like get some guys who don't really be fit yet. Let's come out there and just run some relay stuff because they ended the meet with that. And like you said, the 4x4 is one of the best things to end the meet with. So we could get a few teams to come out there and compete and maybe like mix it up, like get a team Adidas, get a team Nike, get a team New Balance, or even just throw some different ideas out there for the New Balance Grand Prix meet. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But next year, I might try a little something different. I don't want to say it too. Yeah, I might run the 800 next year. So I might do it. I'm thinking about doing it. I told
You're not doing that.
I'm gonna just try. I'm not switching the event.
But you might do an opening.
I might do it.
We've seen some of that before.
If they have a 600, maybe I might do a 600.
Have you ever done something like that in practice?
600?
Yeah.
600 all the time.
And you got it.
I don't do it fast, but I mean, I did one junior college nationals in the 600 meters. So instead of running the 400, because we was on the oversized track, and coach was like, you don't run the oversized in 4, you can do the 6. I was like, they got 600 in the national meet? With JUCO, it's different. So, but next year, if they have I'm thinking about doing I'm thinking about doing one 800 next year. I don't know if it's gonna be indoor or outdoor, but I want to at least try and see.
Every distance runner right now watching is like, hey, they
can line it up with me. I'm gonna take them through that first lap. Be ready. I'm gonna take them through it. Now after that, we on our own.
Can you imagine how good a 51 would feel?
We'll see. But we gotta talk about the other lap after that. You know, when I get
we'll worry about that when we get there.
But even if you were backed off, you couldn't take them through 47 because somebody else could run 47. Right? Nobody else would be with you even if you wanted to take them through that.
But they'll reel me back in about almost the 600.
Didn't Donovan once? He ran 1:1500, right? And he was like, out.
Yeah, 3:34.
5. Yeah,
5 or 4.
But if they have a 600 at the New Balance Grand Prix, I'm definitely gonna be in it, and I'm gonna probably try to get Michael Cherry to come in there with me. We ain't gonna have too many 800 studs in there. I won't go against the 400 meter guys. I won't go against no 800 meter guy. I want Donovan Brazier. I want Bryce. None of them. Clay Murphy. I want to see none of those guys in the 600.
We'll get Marvin to move up.
Oh God. He ain't even gonna show up to the line. Not Marvin.
Is there a fair distance you two would match up well at right now?
Who?
You and Marvin.
No.
There's no fair distance.
No, he can't. 200. He only run 21 seconds. So and it was crazy because I told him he ran the 200. And I said, man, I'll go out there and run 21 seconds. Kid you not, he went out there and ran 21 flat. He ran 21 flat. Then he said it was just stuck in his head. So he went to the grocery store. He got some stuff, and it became out. And the total of the stuff he brought was $21.21. And I was like, bro, it just destined. It's like, and this crazy thing was, we waited all day. We waited till like the end of the night just to mess with him. So like the day went on, he thought we forgot because he didn't hear from us. He wasn't tweeting or nothing. We knew where he ran because we checked the results. We even had the video. So we waited till about 10 o'clock. We FaceTimed him. And I don't know why he answered. That was the worst thing he did. And we just started yelling, oh man, you ran 21 seconds. He's like, not tonight. He was just so discouraged. Like, not tonight.
Next time he runs 21 seconds, we'll make a graphic and we'll post celebrating it. We'll blow it up. Make sure everyone knows.
Yeah, play 21 Savage in the background, too.
Who's the we? What is the we called?
It was me, Michael Cherry, Will London. And Marvin Brace. We in a little group chat. We just be messing with him about him. So Marvin, we troll Marvin all day, every day. I don't know how he take it, but he's a strong dude, man. He could win. He could have won gold out there. I still would have go say something about him. It would have been something I found about him. I was going to say something about him. I don't get that dude a break, but I'm super proud of him, man. He overcame a lot coming from indoors to this year and just to continue going forward. And hopefully we see them get gold in the 4x1, which they will.
I kind of had a fun question just pop into my head as I was walking here to ask you. Is your Mount Rushmore of LSU sprinters? You only get 4 spots.
They all have to be men, otherwise it's going to be all girls.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So
too.
men and women?
Yeah, you get two Mount Rushmores.
2 men, 2 women.
No, the mixed relay.
Yeah.
It's appropriate. 2 and 2.
Okay. Kimberly Duncan.
Oh yeah, so good. Bowerman Award winner.
Xavier Carter.
X.
Because X won the 400 and the 100. Nobody never did that in NCAA.
It's unbelievable, yeah. Good range.
I think only one guy could do that. We all know. I don't have to say his name. Who else? Whew. Let me think.
John, you have one in your head?
Mona Lee.
Ooh, Mona Lee was. Yeah, she was really. Yeah. Now you're going way back though.
Yeah,
Knows
I'm talking
his
about
history.
LSU.
Knows his history.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Now
Now you're going way back. I'm trying to think far back. Yeah, because she's.
So Xavier Carter, Kim, Mona Lee. Who else on the men's
want it?
side? Nah, not me.
No.
I was only there
Humble.
I was only there 2 years. I didn't do enough. And I'm gonna say,
No matter who you say, you're going to get called up afterwards. And
I'm trying to think of the other person. I'm trying to be quick. I'm gonna say Benny Brazil.
That's way out of left field. See, and I've been trying to go through my head. Like Noah Williams was great. Noah Lyles, or not Noah. God, who the kid that swept the 1 and the 2 last
Laird?
year? Terrence Laird.
But I'm talking about the people that have been there for years.
I know. That's why I'm having to go back. That's what I'm trying to think.
If you like Kimberly Duncan, she
so good.
Yeah, Mona Lee, Xavier Carter, like they was there for years. Like you talk about, like no knock to Terrence Laird, like they was just there for like a year or two. They did what they had to be done. But you talking about Mount Rushmore, who laid the foundation on the program.
That's a good way to think. We never think about that. We always do these Mount Rushmores and we always do like the best of.
Nah,
but
when you think about the new faces, like the new faces, of course I could have said Mondo, I could have said Shakir, I should have said Alil Haas, Makai Briscoe, I could have said all those people, Javon Harrison in the field. You know, I could throw anybody out there, but to go into the depth of the resume of LSU and what they done for the program is pretty
Every
insane.
time I see Kimberly Duncan at the Bowerman Awards, I'm like, she is always the best dressed woman I've ever
Kimberly, she had a
seen.
real good style.
And it was always, what is she wearing and what's Deion Lindor when he came through? What was he running?
Yeah, I know, man.
You know? Is he missed? How
Very.
badly he missed by competitors?
Very much.
Yeah.
I think about him every day. Some way I found a way to think about him, and because even when I was in school, I thought about it every day because I couldn't beat him. like my junior year in 2014, like he dominated me that year. Pause. Like he just dominated that year. Like
Right, didn't lose to anybody.
He didn't lose to anybody,
Nobody.
and I was probably like his top competitor that could have got him, and he just. And I think the next year I went to coach. I'm like, man, I have to beat this guy. I can't. Like, what we got to do? He's like, they just keep working. I'm like, man. So the whole time I'm working, I'm motivated to beat him. Like that was my whole agenda. And to this day, like the NCAA, we never really got that head to head that we should have had because he ended up pulling up because he had an injury. But that's what I wanted so bad.
And
that year.
Just to clarify, talking about Deion Lindor, the great Trinidad and Tobago runner, ran at Texas A&M, passed away in a car accident, just about a year ago. Not even, but just one of the most dynamic and just engaging person. He was one of those guys that filled a room.
Yeah, he was the Twitter guy too, though. I get a little bit of that from him too. So he was a big Twitter guy. He was funny too. He was a bit of a troll too.
But if you want to ever have Kimberlyn Duncan as your stylist, just say yes. What she tells you put on, you look great.
Phenomenal athlete.
She wasn't here today. We got a new graphic tee every day with you.
No, right. Well, yesterday we were down on Wisconsin, so I thought I'm gonna wear a cow for you people in honor of Wisconsin today.
Final thing, Vernon, before you go, someone in the YouTube chat asked, was like, do you think the mixed 4x4 should be brought to the college and high school level?
That's a good question. Very good question. I think so. If we have this event on the global and world stage, why not bring it to NCAA? I mean, people talk about, track need to have less events just to make it more interesting. Like, no, we need more exciting events. And the thing is, what would be pretty hard about it is, like, where can they fit that in the schedule?
Yeah.
So especially when they compete on opposite days here at nationals. They don't on other meets.
I would be forward to bringing it on that level, because if it's on the global level, which we're running on, why not bring it to NCAA? So, and like I said, it'll give like those smaller schools the opportunity to put together they best people to go out there and get some points at nationals, or even get an NCAA title for their respectfully schools. So that's a good question. But now as far as putting in the schedule, that go beyond me.
Yeah.
And we all know how the NCAA schedule could be. It seemed like it changes every year. I remember when I was running, we all ran on the same day. Yeah. So, and this year it seemed like it's opposite days. I don't even know how the schedule is. I'm just watching it, and I'm just seeing everybody run fast every time.
All right, Vernon. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down. 43. It's coming next year. This year or this summer?
We never know. I mean, finish out the Diamond League circuit, and who knows? I might see that PB. But definitely 43.
And then 143 next year. And then,
hey,
that's his cue.
Yeah, I'm gonna end on that note. But I'm definitely planning on running the 800 next year, one time.
Give me a target time, just because I'm going to say this, because the guys who finished in the 10,000 this morning ran 153 for the last 800.
I'm gonna say it.
That was after they ran 9,200 meters. Then they finished.
If I'm in peak shape, I'm gonna say about, on a good day, not too windy, not too high, I'm gonna say about 145, maybe 146.
Oh,
I'm being serious. I feel like I run about 145, 146 in a fast race.
All right, you're the race.
Yeah,
you're making the race.
I think I could do it though.
All right, everyone, give it up for Vernon Norwood.
Thank you.
Vernon.
I think I'm coming with you here, because I think our next guests they run too fast and are too far for me to be out. Okay. So.
All right.
He's signed early, the left-handed.
Oh, yeah, he signed already.
Oh, he did? All right.
That's why he said, he's like, if he runs 43, he's stamping 43 on everything.
There you go.
Vernon, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks,
All right.
I'm making way. Do we need more seats? I can
bring
more seats.
John's coming off for this one, he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll bring on.
the couch if you need it. I can do furniture moving.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, we got this one right here, John. If you want to sit there. Actually, I think we're short on mics. All right.
Bring them in.
And now, it feels like it's a little bit like a
Oh, God. I just saw
OAC.
trouble.
Oh, yeah, it's trouble. Ladies first.
Now I gotta go when all the Wisconsin people show up.
Yeah. Well, you could.
You got a chair?
All right. Now let's bring on the guests from the OAC. We'll start off ladies first.
Yeah, they're in the cooler right now trying to decide who's getting what. Is Alicia getting a beer?
Well deserved.
Yeah.
We might need more waters. All right. Well, we're going to bring on Sage Hurta, who has run multiple times under 2 minutes this season. Super impressive, 800-meter specialist. And then we've also got Alicia Monson, who competed yesterday.
Yeah.
In the 10,000 meters. Finished second at the U.S. Championships. So once they're ready to join us, we'll bring them on.
Sage and Alicia, whenever you guys are ready. So
we'll bring you guys on next.
Ladies first. And so, for those who aren't in Eugene, the On House is right next to us, and every night when we're up podcasting at midnight, I think we're keeping everyone who works for the brand wide awake. And so this was an easy commute, hopefully, for you guys and the team to come on over.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to walk. Dathan was stealing coffee yesterday before my race.
He was, yeah.
I was very thankful for that.
So, Alicia, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Yeah, I definitely, it was a tough day for me yesterday just compared to how training was going. And so I was, pretty frustrated with it, but I matched my place from Tokyo, so, I mean, I can't complain. It's, first world problems, basically. But, yeah, so, I mean, definitely going to move forward from it, but, yeah, doing all right.
How do you feel today after a 10K? I can't even imagine what your legs feel like compared to Chris's, which couldn't be fresher.
I think the super spikes change the way you feel after 10Ks. Because I raced two 10Ks in non-super spikes in my life. And I feel, this is maybe just because I'm more durable now, but I feel way better. Your calves are usually destroyed after not racing in super spikes for 10K. But it's actually you kind of come off of 10Ks now and you're like, all right, time to start training again.
You've also now, I guess at this point, probably done a good number of miles in the spikes of the season. So it's hardened, right? Your calves are a little, they're more used to it than say that first one out in March.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, and plus I was lucky I didn't have to even go, I already had a standard from last year. So I don't even have that many 10Ks in my legs this season. So, but we have done a lot of K repeats in spikes.
Sage, has the heart rate come down from watching the men's 10K this morning and watching Joe?
The heart rate's down, but I think I destroyed my vocal cords out there.
Where were you sitting? Was he going to be able to hear you?
No, but we were right on the track with 1:30 to go, but there were also a ton of people right there, and our whole crew and Dathan, and we were all screaming, so. Yeah. Then he was on the other side of the track and I was the only one screaming, but I don't think I got that far.
Are you coaching or are you just yelling, Joe?
Mostly just yelling.
You leave the coaching to Dathan?
Yeah. I'm not really helping at all. It's for me that I'm yelling.
Yeah.
What have you made of sort of I guess being out here and just sort of it's a different field from USA's where the crowd wasn't as packed this time around. Last night's session was it was hard to find a seat. So for you guys, I mean, kind of being in the stands, being on the track, how's it felt?
Yeah, it was definitely cool to especially Tokyo last year was the last major championships outdoor and it was dead silent. So this was cool to actually have a crowd there and especially just lots of US fans. So you're just going on the track and you just hear general screaming for USA and every of the US athletes. So I think that was pretty special, especially when I was kind of in the no man's zone yesterday. It was I could hear people yelling for me and it kept me going. So it was cool.
And this is the number of on people that are here. This is a big brand thing for you guys. Have you had a chance to meet a lot of the team beyond just the OAC?
You guys get to rub shoulders with the founder, I think, right?
Yeah.
Fairly often.
Yeah, Olivier's just hanging out over at the house right now, I think. He came in.
Does he need coffee? You can come on over.
See if he wants to come in and have a seat. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been nice. We see those people around quite a bit at different events. And so I feel we've gotten pretty close with them, over the past year or so.
It's funny because I feel there's some pros who, when they're coming out of college, they're looking for a team, and it's I just want to be left alone. Let me just sign on the paper and send me the gear. I'll wear it when I'm out there. But that's not the OAC way at all. You guys are
stars of a commercial.
Yeah. So was that something that you guys were really interested in when you were, picking where you would go?
I think it was a big part, yeah. And when we were chatting with the people from On, at least personally, when I was going professional, they were definitely really athlete focused, and they found it important that they were giving us technology that would help our performance, and so yeah, I think it's special.
Bucket
and when
hats.
Yeah, new bucket hats.
Maybe I'll wear
cutting edge.
Yeah, and when we go over to Europe, we get to go to their headquarters and meet everyone and see the innovation team and stuff. So I think it's neat.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of on the outside for the first year, and it really was a big leap for all these top NCAA athletes to go join a team that was newly founded. And so I think being sort of hands-on with everyone in the company, it provides that kind of like feedback and support that you're able to make such huge strides in 2 years.
The commercial itself, like, can you take us through the behind the scenes process of how it all came together?
Oh man, we are not actors. And yeah. Also, like, professional athletes, usually like most of our lives is like running and then laying down and then running again. And so, yeah, part of it was kind of difficult timing because it was when we were just getting started with the outdoor season. I had like fluid in my knee, so that was kind of a mess. Yeah. But we pulled it off, and it's kind of funny to see like it's funny how many shots you take of a commercial.
It's just back and forth and back and forth, and then it's always like, we need your foot to hit right there. And you're like, I swear I hit it right there.
Yeah. Alicia dodged the worst day.
Yeah.
You know, she just had to go to the doctor or something. But,
the fluid in the knee. I want to see it.
Very convenient. So we had like a long run that morning, went straight into a full day of shooting. And then there was this one scene that we did at like 10 p.m. at night, and they didn't even use it in the commercial.
Maybe there's a second commercial coming out.
Well, I was looking at one scene, I was like, Morgan's like lifting in some gym. I was like, is the lighting always that weird?
Yeah, it was funny.
It's dramatic.
There was one point when I was like, I was running in front of a truck on the track, and they were like, all right, just run like your usual easy pace. So I was like, okay, 7-minute pace. Like, and they're like, whoa, you're sprinting right now. And so the clip of me running
We're
was
not
like
actors.
9-minute pace. I was like, what? Yeah, it was fun though.
Both of you have gotten the chance to go out to some Diamond Leagues this year, and so what's been really cool about that, Sage in particular, I guess, you, like, right after USA's got on a plane, and then it was a quick trip, right?
Yeah, it was. I think I was in Sweden for like maybe 48 hours or something. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was great. Like, I had a great time, but I definitely spent more time on a plane than I did awake in Sweden. I don't know. I had a great time over there, and I love the environment and get to see the world a little bit. Like, I haven't done that much traveling, so it provides a good opportunity. And I don't know. It's just, I kind of have found that that's been my avenue of success this year, which has been super nice.
Do you guys ever train together? Like, obviously, 10K, 800. Where do you meet in the middle?
Yeah, so we have like a very specific crossover Sage and Alicia workout that we do every now and then.
What is the secret workout? Come on.
It's like
secret?
600.
I made it up.
Yeah,
We're
like-
breaking news.
It's like 600, 400, 200s. So I think we usually do 4 sets. And so like the last one we did was like Sage maybe had 400, 400, 200.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I'll do a 600 and then she'll do like a faster 200.
And then like, or there's another workout where everyone else on the team does 2K, 1K, and I'll do 1600, 800 with Alicia. So when we cross over, it's just me doing part of Alicia's workout.
When you're doing that, I think of it just like having trained with 5K guys in my career. And it's like, when you're doing like, oh, I'm stopping like 200 meters early, I just want to be like, hey, let's see you in a few days. I'll race you in a 200 or a 400, right? Like,
It's
you guys enjoy
hilarious.
today, but
Yeah.
if you want to spike up and sprint a little bit, then
Whenever we start a 200, like I remember the first time I ever started a 200 behind Sage, and she just like left me on the line.
so that first step was so quick, right? Yeah.
I was taking it, I was trying to be nice the last time we worked together, because when I do a rep, I'll literally just walk up to the line and then take off. So I try to, start running a little bit faster about 10 meters before when I'm running with Alicia. But Alicia PB'd in the 200 the other day.
No way.
27 high.
Wow.
Really?
Huge for me.
That wasn't at the end of the 10K?
No, not
Okay.
But it was at the end of 4 sets of this
Yeah,
workout.
like-
Yeah.
4,800 meters or something.
Mm-hmm.
What's your 200 PR?
Probably like, I've never run it all at 200. I've gone out in 25 in a 400 before.
That's my high school 200.
That's your high school 200
That's my proudest moment.
Well, I saw recently you were getting helped a quick 400 by some of the guys.
Yeah.
What would you run for that?
I ran 53, I think.
I guess obviously if you're running under 2 minutes at 800 regularly now, but it's still amazing to
Well,
hear.
it's kind of mind blowing to me because like a couple years ago, I was still like a 56, 55 runner. And then suddenly last year, I like got a lot faster. I don't know what happened. I think I stopped running as much and I got fast.
Yeah, Dathan and his magic.
Yeah.
One kind of final thing I think for me before we bring on the guys is sort of the pet situation with OAC. Like, how vast is it? How many pets are there now? Because you guys just had Yara join. He's got his tortoise. And then you've got dogs.
Yeah.
Do you have?
I have a dog. Yeah.
How many total animals is this?
It's a zoo.
See, it's now like because Emily, well, our old teammate Emily, who's still around and still like comes to practices sometimes. She also just got another dog.
Oh
So she has
So
two
it's
now.
really like so hard to count now. We probably have like, I mean, a lot of the guys who live in the guy's house don't have dogs because Gus is kind of like their house dog. But I'd say we're at like probably like 8 to 10 pets.
Leah single-handedly doubles the total.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that because she has
2 dogs, a
she has
cat,
5 pets. Yeah.
2 hamsters, and an ant farm.
The ant farm, really. The number, the
goldfish while you're at
population. Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy. What else are you? Final thing, I guess. What are you guys looking forward to? I guess for the rest of the meet now. I guess Geordie and
man.
Ollie.
Yeah, I mean the semifinals of the men's 1500 is going to be crazy tonight. Actually, those heats are kind of insane.
We were looking at them. It was like that's the Olympic final from last year. Like,
Yeah.
that's not fair.
Yeah, no, it'll be good though. I'm excited to watch those 5Ks, and the women's steeple is going to be sweet. Because I'm rooming with Courtney Waymont right now.
Oh,
At
awesome.
the U.S. hotel, so I'm excited for that.
Are you guys staying the whole time?
No, I'm staying through the end of Ollie's final.
Okay, I was gonna say it's like probably pretty hard to train in this
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
Your season's continuing. There's
Yeah,
a lot of
especially-
distractions. People asking to come on the podcast, and
Right.
Yeah.
a lot of time baking in the sun at Hayward
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we'll be watching Geordie from home
Yeah,
because
we-
Sage and I are both gonna be probably racing in a couple weeks.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely racing in a couple
Yeah.
weeks. So. me forgetting about my whole schedule. Yeah. So we got to get out of here and actually train.
The alarm's going off.
All right, that's
time.
good to
Yeah,
go.
it's like, all right, not subtle at all.
Perfect. All right, let's bring on the guys. Thank you so much. We
Thanks
got to
so
get you
much
guys
for
to
joining.
sign our flag here. You guys can take a Sharpie, sign whatever color you want.
Someone's got to be the first to do gold, right?
I guess so. I just picked
Yep.
it up here.
you
There we
Some-
go.
Some gold and bronze in there. Morgan just wandering on. We're going to introduce you. Yeah, get out of here.
I'll let you introduce the guys.
Who does even here? Morgan and
Geordie. Yeah.
Do I have to give like their real introductions or much fun?
Whatever you want to do.
All right. Morgan McDonald of the OAC, probably best known as the Long Island Mile champion. Geordie, probably best known as the guy who won NCAAs that I'd never been more confused about who this guy was and why he was winning an NCAA championship.
Welcome to the show, guys.
But yeah, no, obviously Morgan, Olympian for Australia. Geordie's here competing in the 5K for New Zealand. So also 2 big podcasters. I'd say rival podcast. Yeah.
All right, let's give it up for the Coffee Club
Mac
boys.
hates
Yeah.
our introduction. There you go.
Mac was grilling us this morning. He was like, "You guys got to do a better job of introducing our guests." I'm like, "We're trying." It's like we don't have all these stats in our heads. Guys,
The
how's it
collab's
going?
been a long time coming, I think.
The
I think
Citrus
so.
Magazine,
The CITIUS MAG.
You don't.
Tea Club.
I think I'm just so much more mindful of it now. Like anytime like someone refers to us as citrus, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like either you guys are trolling us or you can't read.
We've got to own it. That's what we've got
No,
to decide.
yeah.
Like we are Citrus Magazine, and John keeps saying CITIUS Magazine, and I want to correct him. There's no magazine.
There's never been a magazine. We started this thing 5 years ago, and there has never been a magazine published. It's
So
crazy.
what's MAG?
It was supposed to be a magazine. Never has been, and that was just
The
stuck.
name stuck?
And then I said to him, I was like, maybe I change it to CITIUS Media, and it was like, no, that sounds
We got-
awful.
that was
It like,
booed
no.
heavily.
So yeah, no, I think this has been a long time coming. Although I think we want to come out to Boulder to do the real thing, sit in the backyard and everything. We just invite ourselves onto your podcast.
I think we could probably get that going. I was telling Kyle this yesterday. I think CITIUS MAG is a good opportunity for some merch, though.
Yeah,
With
that
the-
is
Oh,
true.
100%.
With
Yeah,
the,
we're
the
gonna
lemon
take your
emoji.
money.
Someone
Yeah.
threw the lemon emoji
Sold on your
around.
website, though. You know.
We'll take
we
a cut.
split, we
We'll
can split
take a
the,
cut.
Yeah, yeah.
What's with the cost?
we
Yeah.
split the cost.
So you guys are now like have a cult following. Can you even walk around Eugene without getting stopped for some, fan pictures?
Apparently not.
I don't know. Yeah, that was my first time on the track this morning. There was quite a few people out there trying to get pictures. We got stickers we're handing out. It's pretty cool. Like you don't really expect it when you start something like that. I mean, I will give us credit. We've been going for.
Go on.
Actually, now I think about it, we're pretty cool. We're pretty funny now. But we've been going for 40 something weeks straight now. So it's it's not bad. And I think it's just another perspective. And I think what we have is, like you said, it's a bit of a cult following. It's a community. As you said, CITIUS MAG. You can tell when someone listens because we throw out certain things. Like even on an Instagram, you see the comment section on a certain post, and there'll be terms which started probably on Coffee Club, and it's just a community of people that get it and just like kind of just enjoy whatever the vibe is. I don't know what to call it, but
I don't know what the vibe is.
Well, it was 100% like yesterday when Ollie came through in the mix zone. There was like some reporter from a different country just like filming right over my shoulder as I was also filming the interview, and I was talking to him. I was like, "So, are you a heavy hitter? Like, was Morgan giving you the criteria to be a heavy hitter?" It was like, "Are you boys with Jingy?" And it's like, and then like this reporter probably is gonna rewatch and be like, "What are they talking about?
I can't use this. This is not helpful."
And I was like, "All right, I think it's an edge that I actually like keep up with what you guys are doing." So it seems like they're boys. Ollie got the follow from Jakob.
That was pretty. Yeah, that was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
Randomly, like 3 or 4 days before the first round of Worlds. So I don't know what Jingy's doing on Instagram that day. He's really bored.
He brought this up I think last year when we saw you guys at some meet where it was like all of the. I'm not gonna say shit you guys talk about some other people, but like now you go to meets.
You can say they talk shit. That's fair.
It's fair. But then you go see them. Like is it awkward at any point? What's been the most awkward? There has to have been one.
I haven't asked Ollie what him and Cooper said to each other in the start line yesterday because they were next to each other, and that's obviously a fierce rivalry that goes beyond just podcasting and what we say. But thanks, they got the joke. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, the sport is evolving, and people understand that there are these on-track rivalries, and then there are certain things that we can do off the track, which, I mean, they are real. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, they are real in many ways, but also I think people will understand that it's just more fun, and it just gets people more engaged, and it's just cool. I mean, you look at a big one, obviously, was Josh Kerr, Ollie, going back to Milrose when
we helped play that.
That was you guys.
That was our fault too.
When Ollie said that he outclassed Josh, and I don't even know if Ollie. I don't think at the time he meant to disrespect Josh in any way. I think that's just the way that he phrased it, and then
he had to double down.
Yeah, and then once he said that, and then Josh responds, yeah, he's got to double down, and then it does seep into, it gets blown up, and then it seeps into later performances and stuff. But at the end of the day, I think everyone's still friendly. I hate to say that because everyone wants these rivalries, but everyone's just like friendly, I think, at the end of the day.
So you guys kind of have like all the roles that you play. So you're the MC. Like, you actually know the most about running.
You
no
produce
offense to everyone else. Like,
Is that true?
Yeah.
I'll compliment your running IQ, but your stats sometimes are a little bit off. But you're dictating.
The group chat that we have going sometimes is sort of like, all right, let's all start listening, and when we get to 10 minutes, everyone count how many things they've gotten wrong. And so you guys need.
They've got a great idea for a 6
yeah.
pod.
I like
Here's a little thing we'll.
It would require your intern to actually do something.
Well, it could be the intern or it could be David Melly because he listens to all of your guys' episodes. But as he's listening to the episodes, he'll write down the things you get wrong, send it to you guys, and then on the next episode, he's like, "Here are all the things we got wrong in the last episode."
The corrections.
Just the corrections. Yeah.
That would actually be a very entertaining segment that I think that we should definitely do, and let's do that. But see, the thing that I realized is, I mean, not everyone likes. Think about this. The person that's always right. Do you like the person that's always right? I don't think necessarily. You like the person that's. I don't know. Is that Kyle in this situation?
Yeah.
You look at him. Like, you don't necessarily gravitate whoever is the person that's correct about literally everything. You like the person that speaks how they feel, and we're just normal people. I mean, we are obviously we're very into running, and we've been through a lot, and we are pretty knowledgeable. But we certainly, none of us pretend to be experts on every single thing, and we definitely get stuff wrong, and sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes it does matter.
It doesn't matter.
And if it does matter, we'll apologize it and move on, and it's fine.
All right, so
we
that's
talk about a surprising amount of news topics.
Breaking news.
Yeah, which often then breaks like a week later.
Yeah.
And then for a group that's mostly just speculation, we talk about a surprising amount of news topics.
I feel like you guys need to, like, in the bio, something of like, this is not like, we are not held liable for anything that we say. This is like all a joke.
All characters are fictional.
Yeah. Everyone mentioned here.
Names and likenesses, coincidental at best.
I told this to George. It was sort of like when I tweeted about, Jerry Schumacher's going to, it was when Tokyo was awarded the 2025 World Championships. Someone replied to me. It was like, please credit Coffee Club Podcast for breaking the news.
Ollie was definitely just guessing about that. I'm pretty sure Ollie said that, but I'm sure he didn't know.
You know what's a really cool thing is that if you say a lot of stuff, people only remember the stuff you get right, and they don't remember the stuff that you got wrong. It's only like a certain people that remember. Most people just remember what you get right, and you get the credit for that, and the rest of it just fades away.
All right, so then Ollie's role is definitely like the wild card, right? Like he's saying stuff that, and then I mean, Geordie, I like watching the YouTube videos of when Ollie's going off, because you just see Geordie's just like, Jesus. Like, and so is there editing going on? Like, are we seeing an edited version, or do we roll tape?
Well, because you do
immediately
videos,
after?
so like I feel like there's not as many hard cuts.
There really isn't much editing, partly to laziness, partly due to, we just don't really need it. I think, Ollie is the wild card is very funny because a lot of it for him is mood dependent. He has had certain times, for example, the episode where he really, I think, doubled down and ripped into Josh Kerr, he'd been sick leading into that. And so he'd been stuck in his room for 3 or 4 days, and he hadn't spoken to anyone. So when he came out, he was just going wild for whatever reason. He hadn't had enough social interaction. So he was just going off. And so we have certain days like that where he would just go off. But then the thing with Ollie is that then literally the next week he goes and backs it up and runs 3:47. So
he keeps backing it up. It's like I'm listening. I just want to be like, someone's got to shut this guy up sometime. And then he's like, there he goes again. He's like, everything he says seems to work out.
Some days if he spent too much time playing video games and he hasn't had enough social interaction, if we catch him right after one of those,
perfect
couple
storm.
of days, then he just gets on a roll.
So I guess, Jordy, like your role, I feel like you're the most reasonable of the bunch.
I don't think that's saying much.
It's
but
not that
like when I'm the listener, I'm like, or like you're the listener. Like I feel like I'm often sitting in your seat, and like you're the way you react to things is generally how I react to things.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of mine is just reacting to Ollie and either trying to get Ollie arguing or trying to get Ollie to double down on something.
Yeah. You're like, hey, Ollie, weren't you saying something about... do you guys ever have these conversations on runs and then you're like, all right, hold on, like, let's save this?
Not too much anymore.
Not much recently.
We do definitely are mindful, especially if we have a guest. We try not to talk too much. We want it to be as natural as possible.
That's not working.
Yeah.
Like... The guest, sometimes you guys have a guest and it's like 30 minutes of you guys riffing. And then we have.
That's the way it goes. But no, normally there's just, I guess some weeks are slow, but generally enough is happening that we just roll into it, and whatever we were arguing about on the run, maybe we'll argue about it again on the podcast.
So does Yared now, because he's living with you guys, right?
I don't
Temporarily
know.
right now.
So.
We actually don't know.
I think he will. But I think he's here for a training stint for now, but he hasn't fully moved. I think he'll move after the season probably.
He's still got some stuff back at home that he needs to go.
Yeah. So it's still gonna be the three of you. He sat in on the last episode. I texted him. I was like, it's been 35 minutes. He hasn't said a word yet.
Do you guys ever get in trouble for anything that you say? Like, has Dathan ever come to practice?
Well, Dathan doesn't listen apparently.
He doesn't listen.
Said it on.
Has corporate ever called and been like,
they're here?
Yeah. Yeah, they have. We've had to apologize for stuff before.
Early days.
Yeah.
But then they've realized that there's too much to apologize for now.
Because there's no on branding on it, right?
No, it's what do we call it? Coffee Club Collective, LLC.
Wow.
It's its own company.
Business.
There you go. So that way,
investors.
Yeah. Kaylin listens to it on Dathan's behalf, and then tells Dathan.
That's Dathan's wife.
Yeah, Dathan's wife.
Yeah.
So it lets him know if anything was
or like,
across
don't
the line.
Promise me you wouldn't be happy. Don't listen to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten this far without asking Geordie about his race.
You're here for a race.
I am, which is weird. Yeah, I mean, it's so far away. I'm still in a like base training phase. You know, probably
No speed work
no,
yet.
I haven't started speed work yet. Probably next week.
Do a stride tomorrow. How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's kind of nice being here and then having a few distractions for the first few days, and then I think it'll start to feel a little more real in a couple of days. Last little track workout tomorrow, and then into it pretty soon.
What was the whole discussion? You sleeping in altitude tent, and you're in the dorms, right?
No.
Oh, no. All right.
I'm not sure. I'm not yet. I will be.
Yeah.
Okay. We're like wondering if that's legal or not.
Yeah. Well, there was a bit of debate with.
Don't make us cut things. We don't want to edit this.
I won't get into that. I won't get into that. Currently in the altitude tent at our OAC house for the first 5-6 days.
So something I like that you guys argued about, and we were talking about this yesterday, is like how much BS it is, the way that they do the 5K prelims.
Yeah, I'm glad we got into that at the end of the
worst.
pod. I almost forgot, and then we got stuck into that at the end.
So
were you guys on out? Were you agreeing?
I've been saying that for years, and I think you guys probably first heard it from me. But the 5 auto cues and then the 5 time qualifiers. Have you had a chance to look at heats yet?
I don't think they're out.
They're not out
Unless
yet.
someone could
Okay.
tell me differently.
Are you?
I think they're coming out literally the day before every event.
Okay.
Like each day they're just coming out the day
would,
before.
Would you ever keep it honest, or are you going to do the thing where you hang back until the final
Textbook
200 and
Geordie.
then just like
You know-
swing
you-
into lane 2, and then it's like, we thought he was done, and here we are.
I mean, you know the answer to that question.
Okay.
But that's the thing. It was the same indoors. I was in heat 2 out of 3 in the 3K, and then people were like in the tunnel underneath, like, oh, what did the first heat go? Like, what do we need to run? And I'm like, really? I actually don't want to know, because either way, I'm not going to run it any differently. Like, I'm going to have to back myself to get an auto regardless of what that is. So heat 1 or heat 2, I'm not trying to go to the front.
What'd you take from World Indoors that you hope, getting back to a world stage that you learned from that experience?
Yeah. Don't get COVID, mostly. That doesn't help.
Huge.
That doesn't help. No, it definitely was a good experience, and getting through some heats. Hadn't done that in a while. Just competing with some of those guys at the top of the sport. And I had Barega and Adel Machal and people in my heat that kind of, until you race against them, they're kind of like figures in the sport. They're like, don't think you're on that level, but then you kind of feel like you belong there after a couple of times, and you just kind of have to believe that you belong there, and that anything can happen in the rounds, really.
Well, so a lot of the guys who are going to be racing you in a few days, we're in the 10K this morning, right? Did you guys get to study? Morgan, you're the analyst. Is there anything that you took away from that 10K that you guys are now looking out for?
Just be really good at running. I don't know. they were really good.
Morgan's theory, and I feel like sums it up pretty well, is that at the end of the day, the fittest guys are the ones there at the end.
Whether it's
regardless of
fast or slow. Okay, so
Yeah.
Mac and I were having this conversation because you guys were talking about it in the 1500, and Ollie was, he's the guy who's not afraid to take the pace and make it fast, and you guys kind of maintain, like, the best guys are going to win in a fast race or a slow race, and I just want you to know that when I was listening, I was like, Morgan gets it. Even if he's the 347 guy, I'm on Team Morgan there.
I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, I think those guys, they're just so good at the front, and it is crazy that the 5K and the 10K, even at the top, I mean, we're pro runners here, and we're still in awe of what even like Grant Fish is able to do, but especially, like Cheptegei, like the times they're able to run, it's ridiculous. And so obviously, I mean, we're trying to get right there, and that's everyone's goal. But yeah, I think when you get into the end of those races, you really see that these guys are just on such amazing levels.
You had a little bit of a journey the last year, health-wise, everything. You feeling good now?
Yeah, it's been a journey. That's one way of saying it. Yeah, I mean, it's just classic, just being injured, and definitely the most injured I've ever been. I've dealt with injury before, but never as bad as what I ended up having at the Olympics, which I ran through a sprained ankle trying to qualify, and by the time I got to the Olympics, I had a stress reaction in my pelvis. And it's just like a very long process of coming back, and just the classic getting the body right takes so long, and like a bunch of other niggles popping up. So I've had to be patient. I've had to just keep at it. And even now, it's not like things are perfect. I just literally pulled out a race like 3 days ago because I strained my hamstring. So this season has just been a big put health forwards, which obviously should always be like that, but it's been very, very important this year to do that. And I think I'm getting there. The plan for me is to, race the rest of the season, do Ed Murphy Classic at the end of the month, and then hopefully go to Europe and do races. And then I'm just so excited to get in a proper fall with the guys. I was so jealous watching them do the fall training. That's my favorite part of the year, is the fall training, just when it's the whole squad together, just getting after it, big sessions. So I'm really looking forward to trying to do that this year. Something
we were debating today, and obviously, you got to wear the vest last year. That Australia singlet, what do we think of it?
The current one?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit of an interesting cut, isn't it? It's
yeah.
like a bit of a
it looked hot.
I was like, if this was a non-singlet, it'd probably be nicer.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. Is in a
Good
weird
colors.
way. I think it's cool. Like, I think just thinking about looking at Jack Rayner in it this morning, like, he's a cool looking guy. He's got the mustache, and he's got the ear pierce. I thought he pulled it off. I don't know if it's for everyone. I don't think it's quite as universal as a different kit, but I think in the right person, it looks pretty good. I thought Ollie looked pretty good in it.
Yeah, he did look good. That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, they look great. I'm a big fan of the wider ones.
Well, you're gonna wear a speed suit?
You think 2XU makes a speed suit, Kyle?
If he could, he would.
Okay.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, that's a no.
Damn. Too bad.
All right, guys.
I wish.
One of the few guys who can pull it off.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
No worries.
Well, we gotta let you guys go because you've got tons of people here probably waiting for your autograph, but then also, you've got to relax, I think, a little bit more before your race in the next couple of days. So we'll do this again in Boulder, right?
Sounds like a plan. Come to
All
the
right.
backyard.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on. Let's give it up for the Coffee Club boys.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you guys got to sign this before you go. Pick whatever color you like. We'll bring John back on. John, come on over.
Do we have more guests?
I don't think so. You got Matt Taylor?
You want to come on?
Hey, bring him on.
I didn't even see him.
He's right there.
How many people are signing with this color?
Ask him.
John, what's your favorite Morgan memory at Wisconsin?
I was talking to him. Like, I just remember him just crushing Grant Fisher again and again and again. Right? Cross country, then in the 3, then in the 5, Yeah, each time. And if I recall, indoor in Birmingham, by the way, you had the mile, the 3, and the 5 winners from Birmingham in 2019 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of points scored right there. But
what a signature.
But you guys, it's like you watch somebody stalk somebody, and just like you realize the race is over. The person in front of them probably realizes the race is over as they keep going, and I recall watching him run both the 3 and the 5, thinking, "Yeah, the race is over. There's a kilometer left in the 5. He's that. Yeah, go ahead, Grant. This is going to be great." But they're going to come off the turn, and that's going to be the end of that. And in both cases, that's what he did. So. That's what I recall about him.
Yeah.
Well, and I recall about Geordie in that as it's what Dwight Stones has a lot as a play-by-play thing, but I could still see him as he was running away from the field, and he's just like, well, he's down here from it, he's just drowning in oxygen.
That's what I was thinking too.
As he was running away from people, but that's always the phrases he uses. So I think of him making his run in the mile, and Dwight going, he's drowning in oxygen as he went by, which, if you're going to drown some way, that's a good way to go, drown in oxygen.
So before we kind of close out today's show, what are you looking forward to tonight in the evening session?
Listen, I liked watching the fastest man in the world, so I want to see the fastest, who's the fastest lady in the world.
Do you think they're going to use brooms again?
I have my suspects. I think so. That's one of those where it's like, I guess I realize that, America likes to bet they like to bet the over and they like the favorite, and so that's always a hard thing to get. Like if you were really gambling, it'd be a hard thing to get a good number in. But you know, I just don't see any way around that. That's not probably the best way to go. And then I'm really curious to see. I mean, the men's. I mean, if you want to have another sweep, it could be in the men's hurdles.
Yeah.
You know, I think you could put Cunningham and Grant Holloway and Devin Allen. You know?
World record?
Parchment's great. Nope.
No.
I don't think it's warm enough.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
dumb,
That's fair.
But I do think for those guys, you know, warm muscles are loose muscles, are long muscles, are fast muscles. And even at 70, like when he ran 1281 here, it was scorching, right? That was back when it was slightly cooler than the surface of the sun. So I think that would help. So I just don't think it's quite warm enough for that. Now, right, somebody will run 12.6. But I also don't think that Grant is a lock. I think he's the best hurdle in the world. But you still got to race that, and that race is so technical and so fast, and you don't have to be off by much. You know, look at Devin Allen getting here, right? Dude ran 13:09 and barely made it. You know, had to dip at the line, and they had to take time to read the photo, and that guy had run 12:83 or whatever ridiculous number he ran. So, you know, and so Parchment has just apparently another big game race. So those two finals would be phenomenal.
Kyle, men's semis for the 1500?
Yeah, I mean, the 1500 turns up so quick. You know, that first round for the favorites is not that big of a deal. You know, it's kind of going through the motions. And all of a sudden you look at the semifinal and it's like, all right, I got to treat this like a final. And so we'll definitely be tuning in to watch that. I think we're going to have a packed stadium again tonight, just like last night. The lineup is incredible, and I know that the Americans are going to try to do everything we can to prevent a sweep in the women's 100.
Yeah, women's 100 is going to be I kind of want to find a section where I could try and find a seat around Jamaican fans because, you know, just last night we got the chance to celebrate. I want to just be around other winners and people celebrating.
That's why you're here with us, Chris.
Yeah. Just wanted to rub off on you. Is that it? Just want to
Exactly.
feel it?
I just want to be a part of it.
Get the aura of what it was. But listen, it was electric, and to watch them as they introduced each of the American 100-meter runners in their lane, that roar is really something that's tangible. When they come through and when they swept and the place exploded, and it's nice because and it's kind of like when they talk about St. Louis Cardinal fans. Oh, you know, nobody knows baseball like Cardinal fans. But Eugene's very much like that with the track fans, right? But if you watch that 10K race, like there was an appreciation for what they were doing. Now they need to fix the big what do they call it? The amusement board, the
Jumbotron.
Yeah, no, but they got the experience board.
That's what they call
Yeah.
it.
Because the experience board. Because if you watched, all they kept cycling through was just the names of the competitors.
Yeah.
So every time you'd go through, and at first you'd think, oh, this is where the running order is, and Grant is still 24th.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure he's not 24th.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to why they don't have the running scoreboard up there, or at least the positions and changing every lap. I don't know, but still, when they came around there, people still know. Like, here it is. I don't care who those people are. You're just like, there are dudes running 53 in the last lap of a 10,000, and they could appreciate the effort that those guys made, and you know that. God, the Grant stayed in there right to that last stride, and just wasn't enough. As you know, like it's one thing to finish fourth by that much in the 100, because it's 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after 10K, you're like, wait, I went that far and that close, you know. But hopefully, this is again knowledgeable track field. You track people, you go, wow, what a great race.
Yeah.
Like she was phenomenal. Like I hope American fans appreciate what Chris Schweitzer did. You know, and you've probably touched this on your podcast and everything else, but just as we sit here in front of people, you know, finish ninth, ninth, like, and run a 30-some second PR and come within 4 seconds of the American. Like she was phenomenal.
Well, I think that we do a decent job of that as American fans, of understanding. It's like, do we want to win everything? Yes, but we also have to look at each individual and say, like, that's a great performance for them in particular, and looking towards the future. The fact that Grant was disappointed with fourth, like that's exciting. That he's got
There's
another
a moment-
opportunity immediately in the
Chap, the
5K.
guy was like right on him. You pointed it out to me. He's like, this has got to be like some sort of symbol of respect where it's like he's not going to let him get away. And so
Yeah, early on, the Americans taking the front, and when Grant's up there, Cheptegei had his eyes on him. And it's like if an Olympic champion and a world record holder is looking at you and saying, I got to look out for this guy, then, I think you've made it to that level.
Yeah, and we've come on. We've got depth in places that we didn't have before, and I have done now the women's shot and the women's hammer. Hey, look, America, America. And they come in with the best throw in the discus with Valerie Ullman, so she could probably win again. And then the number one throw in the world in the javelin with Maggie Malone. Now, she's had some trouble. I don't know that I would view her as an overwhelming favorite or any kind of favorite in that, but the fact that the 4 throwing events and there's an American woman there is pretty remarkable.
Well, we talked about the possibility of an American women's sweep
yeah.
in the distance events or in the throwing events, and so we had Chase Ely. Today
Brooke
we had
Anderson.
Brooke Anderson. Now,
Val Allman's gonna.
She's probably gonna.
Okay.
She like I said, she should be the favorite to win. I don't know that Maggie with the longest. Like she's got to get a throw in the sector.
Yeah.
which she's had trouble the
that'd be
last
cool.
two.
That'd be a
so.
sweep of a new variety.
Yeah.
It would be, and it would be. I think it's unprecedented. I don't know. I mean, there's
Throw in the pole vault,
there's
maybe?
probably some. And I'll get in trouble with this, but there was probably a quartet of really juiced up Soviet athletes or really
Probably,
juiced
yeah.
up East German women that probably maybe did it. But
Or no, maybe like there was probably one country doing it, and the other country was also doing it, so they just capitalized on each other's
Yeah.
possible sweep. So
But that would be, that's amazing. And look at the strides women's distance running has made, and and there are now in men's middle distance and distance racing, like there are American men in that fight, and for a while it wasn't. So I'll be jingoistic, and here's the home team, but like it's the best track team in the world all the time. That delegation that we send, there's not many events where you're not going to see somebody that's going to fight for a medal, and it's really remarkable, and you hope that it's really appreciated.
Well,
yeah.
day 3.
Day 3. Tune in to all the action. Starts at 5:05 with the semifinals of the men's 110 hurdles. We'll be producing our podcast later tonight, sometime around 10 or 11 p.m. We'll go live on our channel once again. If you guys want to tune in and listen to all of our analysis after those finals, be sure to subscribe to the CITIUS MAG YouTube channel because we're going to be doing this show for the next couple days, 7 more days. I'm losing count already. So
How do you lose count of 3?
yeah, well, we haven't been sleeping. We haven't been sleeping a lot, very much at all.
But big thanks to our guests. We've now had 12 incredible guests join the show in the first 3 days, and we've got way more coming.
Yeah, is this going to hang in the office?
Yeah,
Or
in
you
my
just-
office
Or
at
are you
home.
just going to
Yeah.
measure that? Are you going to, sell that for? You could keep the company afloat for a year and a half if you auction that baby off.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
by the time you auction-
Mac is holding up a sign. We're supposed to say something.
Tracksmith. We're supposed to shout out
we're supposed to
Tracksmith.
mention Tracksmith?
Ow.
Matt showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt's here. All right.
Shout out to Tracksmith for supporting all of our coverage from the U.S. From the World Championships.
Mac,
I'm
can you
rattled
show
now
them the
that I know
Tracksmith
Matt's in the house.
aisle here that we have? Do we have a?
Yeah.
Boss is here. We got to start shouting out.
We
Use
gotta get-
promo code WORLDS for 20% off.
That's right. Yeah.
At checkout.
We've got the newspaper on our stoop if you're in Eugene and want to, pick up a copy. It's right here. There it is. Zoom in, Mac.
By the way,
Okay,
for those
you
of
can
you
do
that
it
are
on it.
streaming live and on Twitter and TikTok, that's like a newspaper, and a newspaper used to be a thing, and it'd come to your door.
You're dating
every
yourself,
morning.
John.
Yeah, and then you would read all the day's news.
There it is. Look at that shot.
Look, yeah, there
Plenty
you go.
of summer colors. Check them out. Tracksmith.com. Use promo code WORLDS for 20% off. We will catch you guys again tomorrow. Is tomorrow another day where we're at 2:30? I've lost track of the schedules. Schedule's in the description. So subscribe, push the notification button, and you won't miss a beat. Thanks,
I can't
guys.
wait to come on day 8 and just watch how
Day 8.
how
Oh,
nuts
my
you're gonna be.
brains are gonna.
Day
my
we
brains
should
are
have
gonna
a few
melt it.
beers and
And thanks to the
really
people who
just
sat
mush.
through our show. Thanks so much,
Thanks to the
guys.
audience.